Good evening and welcome to Prosperity Health Recipes. And so, I'm Maureen G Mulvaney, better known as MGM, and I'll be your master chef tonight. And so, what we've got to hear is today we're on session 5. And session 5 is all about your endocrine system and the metaphysical meanings behind it. And tonight, I like to use the Bible as our health recipe guide. And tonight, our Psalms, it comes from Psalms, is Lord my God, I called to you for help and you healed me. I love that. Lord my God, I called to you for help and you healed me. And we're going for vibrant health. And to me, that means awakening each morning easily and effortlessly, filled with joy, a good attitude, and plenty of energy to get through your day. Having a good appetite that keeps you at your most efficient and effective weight for your body, having a good memory, a good sense of humor, and then having clear mind filled with gratitude and a love of life. And we always say this is spaced repetition. So you were taught spaced repetition as a child. You didn't even know what's happening, and people around you saw, and you heard them, saw them, or experienced them again and again. Hold on just a second. And I'm going to ask you maybe if you will mute your stuff so that you can move around and drink water and do all that, because otherwise it will come up on the tape. Okay, so everybody just mute yourself if you would. So we use spaced repetition to learn and get it down into our bones exactly new ideas and thoughts about what we want today. And it's vibrant health is my birthright. I shimmer with excitement. I am vibrantly healthy. We claim that, and every day we say it 100 times a day. That's 700 times in a week, 7,000 times in the 10 weeks, and instantaneously you'll be able to get down and set yourself up with a new habit, and that's what we want. And time for review. My personal mantra is I claim I am the master chef of my body. I whip up vibrant health each and every day. I feed my body nourishing foods and beverages, as well as nourishing thoughts and experiences. I cook up wellness by always remembering to take out the trash, which are my negative thoughts, as I clean and cleanse my beliefs. I pamper and respect my body, and my body knows how to heal itself and is always in the healing process. I claim vibrant health. Hi, let's do a little bit of review about what we've already learned. And first, you have to know your magnificent body was made to heal itself. From the dawn of time, it has been able to heal itself just using things around it, food and plants and shrubs and trees and all kinds of things that it found important. On top of that, your magnificent immune system was built to keep out the germs, keep out the bacteria, keep you clean and free of colds and flus and viruses and all kinds of things so that you would continue to maintain vibrant health. Thank your immune system each and every day. Then we learned about your digestive system. Your magnificent, magical digestive system not only allows you to digest and assimilate and eliminate foods that you eat, but it also is brilliant because as you bring in new ideas, people, places, and things, you can bite off certain things. So you get bite-sized pieces. You then digest those ideas, then you assimilate what works for you, and you have the ability to eliminate what doesn't work for you. So as you feel vibrantly healthy, thank your digestive system. Then we learned about your circulatory system. This was the system that has the heart as your pump and blood as a way to get the nutrients and oxygen throughout your body. We also know that you can use your heart as the love center. Your blood is joy. If you return back to your natural state, that means that you pump love and joy throughout your body, to every artery, to every vein, to every vessel throughout your body, so that you are filled with love and joy, and you can keep yourself and maintain vibrant, healthy body. Here's baby MGM, like I've said a million times. You come popping out of your mommy, healthy, joyous, and as you're doing the hula, you're fascinated with everything, your fingers, your toes, and every little thing. And you have no shame because you have no programming. You're in a natural state of joy. You don't come out saying, "Oh, do you think this diaper makes me look fat?" You don't come out saying that kind of stuff. As a baby, you are precious. You are perfect. You're a little love healing machine with no thought programming. And so you come to this planet with no thought programming, and you receive your thought programming from your mother, father, sister, brother, aunts, uncles, teachers, preachers, friends, and enemies who unknowingly use spaced repetition just by showing you, seeing, hearing, and experiencing what they do. So spaced repetition is everything you saw, heard, and experienced as a baby, almost up to age 8 or 10. And over that period of time, you heard it again and again and again. And through that spaced repetition, you formed your thoughts, which became your beliefs, which became your words, which became your experiences that went into your subconscious and became automatic. And a tasty tidbit that I'd like you to talk about is pay attention to what is being said or what you said just before you last crossed your arms. Most of us don't usually have our arms crossed unless we're freezing cold. And watch people on TV when they cross their arms. Look at what is being said when they cross their arms, because that is showing us your subconscious. Your belief system is coming out when you cross your arms when you hear something. So pay attention. For homework, I want you to watch the people on TV, and when they cross their arms, pay attention to what was just said or what they said or what the other person just said, because that will show you that there's a resistance to that. And so, because as babies, we have no belief programming, no thought programming. The thought programming comes later. Your health, you learned your unique recipe for life. You have your unique. Nobody else on the planet has your unique sense. Not even your brothers and sisters, because each one of them got information from your mom and dad, but they also took some information from their best friends and from different teachers than what you had. So what we do is we learn our thoughts, and our thoughts come from what you saw, heard, or experienced and learned as a child. Your beliefs were formed by bundling similar thoughts together, and your beliefs are spoken out as the words you say, and those words create the experiences in your life. So all your thoughts, beliefs, words, and experience that you learned, usually by age 3, went right in to your subconscious and became automatic. And what I really, really need you to understand is that's why half the time we just react to things, and we really don't even know why we did, but it was what was already programmed in. Those subconscious beliefs and words and experiences are your unique recipe for life, and it's in your subconscious, and your subconscious rules your body, period. And so these are your personal life beliefs and recipes, and you don't even know you have them, but they're operating on you every single day. You operate with them. So your personal life recipes create your experiences, your future, and your life. So that's why I say all the time, if we take the lesson from Ho'oponopono, it is you are responsible for your life 100%. No blame, no blame at all. Just if we take 100% for our responsibility, then we have the ability to solve everything that comes into our life. Because after age 3, whenever you came upon a new idea or new circumstances, you automatically reverted to your subconscious, which was stored in your system, and you had your unique ideas about health, relationships, jobs, and lifestyle. Without question, you followed your own unique recipe until there was some challenges that came along. But mostly, you followed what you learned as a child. And so if you came from a loving family where you were honored and treasured, the first ingredient in your unique life recipe was you used to filter every experience through maybe love, kindness, compassion, and joy. But if you came, say, from an alcoholic family, and which almost all alcoholic families are ruled by anger and fear. So your unique life recipe might be that you filter most or all of your experiences through that lens of fear and anger. So, wait, there's good news because you don't have to continue using your outdated life recipes, which now are automatic, especially regarding your health. At any moment in time, you can click change your thoughts, which change your words, which change your experiences. And so you can make your new life recipe like this. For a bottomless good life, I have laughter every single day. I have one mouthful of kind words, unlimited amounts of compassion and hugs and kisses to desired amount. My heart is love, my blood is joy. I pump only love and joy throughout my body daily. Only good lies before me. Can you imagine if that was your life recipe? And so what I say, the good news is your subconscious was trained to be the way it was all those years ago. So everything you know is learned. Therefore, that's the good news. It can be relearned, reprogrammed yourself by using positive, effective healing thoughts. And so we know that your conscious level, what you're aware of, only 0.05 to 5% of what you go on in your life are you aware of, conscious thoughts that you're aware of. Look at this. Almost all of your 95 to 99% of most of what you do in life is absolutely subconscious. These are stored knowledge, most of your beliefs and your memories for years. And you have to remember, you get what you send out. So if you've got stored that you react to this a certain way or react to that a certain way, you're going to get it right back at you. Remember, now, I had a guy that lived next door to me for years, almost for 5 years. This guy sued me 5 different times. And because he was descending into mental illness. And that was his way of getting even with me and the neighbor across the street. And eventually 19 neighbors were included in one lawsuit. And I'll be honest, I conscientiously sent him angry, hurtful thoughts as every day because I had to pass by his house. And then it hit me like I was teaching this class and it hit me. Everything I send out will come back to me. And so I had to stop and change and start sending out love. So I started standing on my front on my front stoop, looking over to his house and just sending him love. I prayed that he would find love and move away. But I prayed that he would find love, that he would find it in another person or a love of his job or do something. And finally he did. But it took a while. I didn't get it in my time. I got it in divine time. So, and then mostly on your unconscious level, that's where you saw your fears, your phobias, your feelings, thoughts, urges, memories, acceptable or unacceptable, pleasant or unpleasant, plus feelings of pain and anxiety and conflict. Most of your beliefs, though, are not in your aware, but in your movie of life, your reality of life, come from those subconscious level. And so here's the good news. The subconscious was trained to begin with, therefore it can be retrained in a new and different way. When Dr. Willie says that he's getting up and Sandra says they're getting up and they're doing exercises and they're doing different things, it's becoming a habit. When Miles says that he's now, so many days into you doing these walks and going to the gym, it now becomes a new habit. And once that new habit sets in, you feel, gosh, I'm missing it when you don't do it. So we have to do everything we can to reprogram ourselves on a conscious level. And so we go right back to what we all know, and that is to change your beliefs. You've got to first become aware of them. And because they're stored in your subconscious, so they're not so easy, you have to make a list of your beliefs. So, especially about health, you can make it about women, you can make it about when, you can make it about your job. But once you become aware of something, then you can make that list and then you can do something about it. We always say create a vacuum, which means to look at all of your beliefs, anything that's old, outdated, that no longer works, that are effective for you. You've got to clean it out and to make space. To clean it out, you release it and send it off to its good. You don't just throw it away, you release it to its higher good. Then you have to make that decision to fill your own vacuum, and that way you fill the space. Because if you don't fill your own vacuum with new thoughts that are effective for you, the universe will fill it back up again with what you already had, because it thinks maybe you didn't learn that lesson. So once you've learned that lesson, you don't want to keep repeating it, so go ahead and get something new. That's why we say vibrant health is my birthright. I shimmer with excitement. I am vibrantly healthy. And so that's what we're going to do. And we say, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Feels so good. Feels so swell. Every little cell is happy and well. I love to sing this because it just makes me happy. My heart is pumping love and my blood is pumping joy. And that's what I think about every time I think this song. Because in the beginning, you knew exactly how to heal yourself. You didn't go to a doctor. You didn't go to a psychiatrist. You healed yourself with the food, the plants, and the trees that were around you. And you used fight or flight to kill a mountain lion, run away from the mountain lion, or you died. And so then you finally started grouping with other people in tribes, and we exchanged healing practices and massage and light and color and prayer and acupuncture and energy. And then there were certain people that kind of showed a proclivity to be healers, and we made them the healers and the medicine men and the shamans. But once that microscope was invented, everything changed, and we moved to a more Western style of looking at germs cause illness. We ceded away our healing power to other people at that moment in time, and we went to war with these germs. Doctors were the general, their bodies were the occupied territory, and body parts became separate entities and to be fixed with a pill or surgery. We threw away 5,000 years of healing. So this course is a way for you to take back your own healing powers. Claim your vibrant health. Claim that you have the ability to make every little cell in your body happy. Decide that you can do this, to embrace not only the Western medicine that we now use, but also looking at all the new energy and light and the chakras and the metaphysical way that we can heal our body. And not just beginning and continuing to use our fight and flight, which works exceptionally well when we were fighting off mountain lions. But today, you have stressors coming at you so rapidly and from every corner. You've got deadlines, you've got a loss of a job, a loss of a paycheck, making changes, all kinds of things that are happening all around us. So we have got to add choice into the fight or flight response. By adding choice, conscientious choice, you can make a decision how you're going to make your life work for you now. Letting go of resentment, revenge, anger, rage, hate. These are all things that for years we didn't even pay attention to, but they cause us to be sick, to be at dis-ease with each other. And instead, we've got to add conscientious healing, kindness, love, forgiving thoughts, and create vibrant health that we want each and every single day. So that's what we do in this. Once again, I ask you to make a list of all the things, keep a word list of how you think about your body, what you think is healthy, what you think about the food you eat, or the way you work out, the way you don't work out. Think about all of it. I also want you to commit to doing Donna Eden's energy exercise any time of the day or night. I've sent out the link in your homework sessions, but it's also, you can go to her own website, Donna Eden's. I think she calls it the morning routine energy exercise. And so Vibrant health is your right, your birthright. Make vibrant health your foundation for your wealth plan. Great wealth without health is unthinkable. And as we do each week, we want to start with the Western philosophy and look at the physical body first to move to then the metaphysical, holistic healing of your body. So this week, we're going to look at the endocrine system. And remember, your body has the ability to heal itself. And so don't ever lose sight that you have probably a better way to heal yourself than any medication that's out there. And so the endocrine system makes you you. And it is a collection of major glands, each of which secrete different types of hormones that do a specific task when released into your bloodstream. And so your endocrine glands and hormones produce, store, release, and deliver hormones into the bloodstream so that the hormones can reach the body's cells. Your endocrine system regulates the processes of your body to make sure all your hormones get to where they need to go on schedule. So, and how the hormones work is your hormones go to various parts of your body. Each hormone does a different job. Once the hormone is in your bloodstream, every drop of hormone travels in search of a target cell to fulfill its particular duty. And so these target cells are called receptors, and they're made of special proteins attached either on the inside or the surface of them. And as the hormone passes by these receptors, they recognize the one built specifically for their job and connect to them, like connecting with a long lost prosperity partner. And this binding of hormones and receptors stimulate the cell. And the cell then begins to change its behavior by either increasing or decreasing or specific processes inside of it, even changes forms. Your hormone influences millions of cells, allowing the endocrine system to bring enormous changes all over your body. And so the endocrine system regulates everything for you from your sleep cycle to the beating of your heart to your metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep and mood, among many other things. And a tasty tidbit is the one biological process that binds all living organisms together is our hormone. These special chemicals are produced by every living creature made of more than one cell. And hormones transform you from a tiny baby into an adult. And your body is always in flux. Get it? When you're cold, your body shivers. When you're hot, your body sweats. And your body engages in these activities to keep your internal temperature constant. That's called homeostasis, which is defined as the ability to keep the body to maintain a constant internal state. So it likes the endocrine system, keeps you in balance. So let's take a tour. Let's start with the pituitary gland. And that is right there in the pituitary, which is spread. A lot of these glands are spread out through the body and are controlled by this little pea-sized gland located behind the nose near the underside of your brain, attached to the hypothalamus. And it's called the pituitary gland. And this is your master gland. This is the control center of your body, and it takes charge of the entire endocrine system. And so while the hypothalamus controls the balance of your body functions, controlling the release of hormones from the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland has the ability to command and set off your endorphins. Now, the endorphins are those chemicals in your body that make you feel good, and it has a pain relieving property. And so when people are very, very happy, when you laugh, that's why I'm always saying laughter is such good medicine. You instantaneously set off your endorphins, which is great for your body. The pituitary gland also commands the thyroid to release production of the crucial T3 and T4 so you can metabolize better. It also commands the adrenal glands, produce your stress hormones that let you have that fight or flight. It even gets the attention of the ovaries in women by commanding them to get your hormone estrogen rolling for the growth of egg cells in women, and commanding the testes in men to get that sperm cell production rolling in men. And so while the pituitary gland has its own job, it produces growth hormone, which regulates the growth and physical development, making you grow big and tall. It stimulates growth in almost all of your tissues, targeting primarily your bones and muscles. So important for boys and girls. Your pituitary gland commands and gives orders. Even though the pancreas makes the insulin and the nervous system handles the adrenaline, it's the pituitary gland is the control center of the entire adrenal system. The thyroid, we know a lot of people know about this because it's caused a lot of issues with people nowadays. It's a butterfly-shaped organ located in the base of your neck, and it produces and releases the thyroid hormones. The most important job of the thyroid gland is metabolism, meaning it regulates how fast your body uses those calories from the food you eat to give you energy. The thyroid hormones also regulate everything from breathing to heart rate, central peripheral nervous system, body weight, muscles, menstrual cycles, body temperature, cholesterol levels, and so much more. And the thyroid uses iodine from your foods you eat to make more two main hormones. It's T3 and T4 is mostly what you need to hear. It's important that the T3 and 4 are neither too high or too low, that they stay in balance. And so the two glands in the brain, the hypothalamus and the pituitary, communicate to maintain that equal balance in the T3 and T4. But why do you even need the thyroid gland? Well, the thyroid hormone, T3 and 4, travel in your bloodstream to reach almost every cell in the body. And the hormones regulate the speed with the cell's metabolism works. So T3 and T4 regulate your heartbeat and how fast your intestines process that food. Remember, it goes through those intestines, and the intestines is so long, and it squeezes and squeezes and squeezes it. So it squeezes out every bit of nutrient for your body, and then it eliminates all the rest for waste. And so if your T3 and 4 level are low, your heart rate might be slower than normal, and you may have constipation and weight gain. If your T3 and T4 level are high, the pituitary gland releases less THC to the thyroid gland to slow production of these hormones. And you might have a rapid heartbeat and weight loss. And we're going to talk about that particular, the thyroid in a later class, but just give you an overall for this right now. The symptoms of this, so let's go back to the thyroid, are if you have hyper, meaning high thyroid, you usually have anxiety, irritability, and moodiness, nervousness, hyperactivity, sweating, sensitive to high temperature. Sometimes your hands shake, you have a little tremble, hair loss, and missed or light menstrual cycles. If your T3 and T4 are hypo, too little, then you have the opposite, trouble sleeping, you're tired and fatigued all the time, you have difficulty concentrating, dry skin and hair, depression, sensitivity to cold, frequent heavy periods, and joint and muscle pain. So the thyroid is very important to keep you all regulated. The adrenals are next. The adrenals are found, this is another one we're going to talk about at a different time as well, but found just above your kidneys. And this is what they call the exciting gland, because it can either turn you from a peace-loving human into a daredevil in no time. Because the adrenal gland is the one that produces the hormones that regulate, again, your metabolism, immune system, blood pressure, but most importantly, your stress response and for your essential functions. So it produces a variety of hormones that you can't live without, including adrenaline to get you going if you need to fight or flight, and cortisol, which triggers that fight or flight response. But with this, your fight or flight only gets activated when you need them in the face of danger. Why this is so problematic nowadays is a deadline is seen as a mountain lion. Um, uh, uh, Being out on the freeway to many people is seen as a mountain lion. You're triggering your fight and flight all the time. This is extremely challenging and hard on the adrenals. Remember, In the past, I have said you were given one body and all the parts were supposed to last for a lifetime. And we're wearing these parts out so fast because in mountain time and back in cave person time, you didn't see a mountain lion every single day, every hour on the hour. It was maybe once a week, sometimes once a month. Now we're doing this minute to minute, hour to hour. The news comes on, the news flash, and that now we used to just see that every once in a while. Now breaking news is every 5 seconds, and that will activate this adrenaline and your cortisol, and that takes hours to get back out of your system. So can be problematic and really play havoc with your adrenal glands. And adrenal insufficiency is the ability to increase your cortisol production with stress and can lead to a life-threatening Addisonian crisis that results in low blood pressure, low blood levels of sugar, and high blood levels of potassium. And you'll need immediate care. So we want to look at friendly adrenal diet would be to limit food and drink. How many times have I said this? High in refined sugar and flour and the whiter the bread, the faster you're dead. It's just that simple. Anything that says refined on it, refined sugar, refined flour, refined rice, means that they've taken every possible nutrient out of it to make it as worthless as it possibly can be. That it can stay on a store shelf for years, but it's worthless to you. So all while maintaining blood sugar. So avoid white sugar and white flour to help keep your adrenals healthy. Next is your pancreas, and it's the biggest gland in the endocrine system, and it lies behind the stomach and regulates the amount of sugar in the blood. So two functions. One, to produce enzymes that help you digest, because it will break down your carbs into smaller units so it can be absorbed by the small intestine and used for energy. It releases other enzymes which break down proteins into amino acids to complete the protein digestion. And it also releases lipids as to break down the fats. And so what you have to know why this is so important is the second function is the hormones it releases into the bloodstream, which are the glycogen and the insulin. And it works like this. After you eat, the carbohydrates are broken down and so into glucose. Now that liver sends some of that glucose into the bloodstream to the cell throughout the body. And when glucose is sent into the bloodstream, the pancreas produces insulin, which tells the cell to open up, and let the glucose in. And the cells use that glucose as energy. That's the good news. But the liver takes any extra glucose and stores it as fat. So as this glucose is used up by the cell, the pancreas releases the hormone, which signals the liver to convert to stored glucose, and glucose is released to feed those hungry cells. But when you have this happen too much and too often, then it stores as fat. 70%, I include myself as part of this, in the United States of America are overweight or obese. So to keep a healthy pancreas, we have got to avoid abusing alcohol, drink only infrequently, drink plenty of water, eat your fruits and vegetables, and eat healthy fats. And so these are what we need to do for the entire body. So the next is your human reproductive system. And for the females, that is the ovaries that manage the change for girls, producing the estrogen, and the testes for guys, releasing testosterone. The endocrine system helps you to maintain the balance and makes you who you are. And a tasty tidbit is, did you know insects also have hormones? I thought this was interesting. One hormone causes insects to molt or shed their exoskeleton, and others cause like a butterfly metamorphosis. So also insects have and many other animals have this hormone release. And pheromones are with many animals have this, including humans, they say now. And these pheromones can attract your mate, can mark the location of food and warn other animals that they're in danger. So we're not the only ones that have a system. So a quick review is the major glands of the endocrine system produce, store, release, and deliver hormones into the blood system so that the hormones can reach the cells. They regulate the process of the body and make sure that all the hormones get to where they need to go on schedule, doing their own task. Each one has a different job, and they regulate everything from the sleep cycle to the beating of the heart to metabolism, growth and development, tissue functions, sexual function, sleep and mood, and many other things. So the next time you have a good night's sleep, your food is metabolized well, and you have some sex, you don't forget to thank that endocrine system. Thank you, endocrine system. So now let's look at the metaphysical side. And that's the side beyond the physical world. And that's the energy medicine part, the prayer, meditation, and the transforming of your beliefs and thoughts, much more holistic approach. Instead of, when I go to my eye doctor, he has never once asked me about my foot or any other part of my body. He only asked me about my eyes. Whereas metaphysical, we look at the whole body. Every part of your body helps to make the other parts better too. So let's take both of the physical side and the metaphysical side to heal ourselves, to know that you have the ability to heal yourself. And we don't have to use just fight or flight anymore. We can make a decision to start using conscientious choice on how we're going to change. Remember, your subconscious mind is the first to react to almost everything automatically. Your energetic system is controlled by your automatic subconscious mind and all your mental habits. So everything was programmed in. The awareness conscientious part is only up to 5%. That's as much as you get. But the subconscious is 99.9, not 5% of what you do. That's where we really need to pay attention. And so by practicing on the subconscious, because the subconscious is easily trained. And if you got that way to begin with, you can retrain yourself and create a much more effective and efficient endocrine system, a digestive system, a circulatory system. You can create all kinds of things just by having a great attitude, faith, prayer, overflowing joy, thanks, and gratitude that you can practice this until it becomes automatic, that you know what to do and how to do it, no matter what the circumstances. So whether you're having a crisis, that you don't have to immediately jump to fight or flight. And if you do, you come back to homeostasis very quickly. So instead of staying over in the fight or flight side and brooding and worrying and getting resentful and angry, you have to make the decision. You might automatically go over there, but you have the choice to come back much quicker by using what we practice in this class, everything from Ho'oponopono to the energy routine to setting up a boost of special energy just by changing your thoughts. It just takes a second. Just like that, you can change your thought and absolutely change how the rest of your day is going to go. You have to practice this because your conscientious mind is what you're aware of. Your subconscious mind is unaware, but creates your life. Let me repeat that. You're unaware of it, but that's what's creating your life. That's where we've got to spend most of our time. That's why I'm always talking about become aware of your beliefs, create a vacuum, which means just make space, and then fill your back room. I make my own self laugh. Fill your vacuum is what I'm trying to say. And so you have to know that you have the ability to do that. So let's look at back in the endocrine system. We're in the endocrine system now, but when we're learning about the nervous system, it's your electrical system that wires and fires things together. I want you to wire and fire this new information together tonight. So let's look at your pituitary gland. Metaphysically, physically, the pituitary gland is your master gland. It's the control center for your whole system. But energetically, Miss Louise Hay, author of How to Heal Your Life, I love Louise Hay, Suggest energetically that the pituitary gland represents your control center for your life as well. Remember, everything works under the law and actions of love. There is love in every bit of intelligence in the universe. It is impossible. Let me repeat that. It's impossible to work and function well without love and joy being experienced. You can function, but you will not function well, and you will not create vibrant health unless you start understanding your heart is love, your blood is joy. Pump love and joy through your system all day long, every day. Negative thinking only clogs up the brain, and there's no room for love or joy to flow in its free and open way. So laughter cannot flow if it is not allowed to be free and foolish. And laughter is like internal jogging. We keep talking about the physical jogging and physical walking and physical activity that we do to keep ourselves healthy. Laughing is internal jogging, and it creates this wonderful, it sets off the endorphins. It does so many things for you. So make a decision that you're going to laugh. Look at how many times we get angry or get upset during a day. And yet, how many times do you say you laugh during the day? I make a conscientious decision. I don't care if you have to put it in your calendar and say, I will laugh 5 times during the day. And if I don't get my 5 laughs in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to program some show that makes me laugh. And I'm going to start watching 15 minutes of that so I get my 5 laughs in a day. Doesn't that make more sense to do it that way? To program your laughing, your internal jogging in to your program. So once again, let's get back to this. I go off on these tangents. So to support a well-functioning endocrine system, please fill your vacuum with new positive thought programming. If the pituitary gland is your control center, say this to yourself. Say this to your pituitary gland. My mind and body are in perfect balance. I control my thoughts. My mind and body are in perfect balance. I control my thoughts. So your thyroid gland, physically a thyroid gland is located in the base of your neck. It produces and releases those thyroid hormones, and the most important job is metabolism. And so, but energetically, your thyroid gland represents the creativity in the body. When your creativity is stifled and frustrated, you often have throat problems. Remember, the thyroid's located in the back of the neck. People who live their whole lives for other people, they never get to do what they really want to do, but to please their mama and their daddy and their spouse or their lovers or their bosses. And when they resist change or are in the middle of change or after trying to change, we often have a lot of activities around the throat. Isn't that interesting? I want you to start noticing when you cough. When you cough. I want you to watch other people when they cough. Not only pay attention to when you hear a cough, but pay attention to what was just said before you coughed. What are you reacting to? Is it resistance or is it stubbornness to change? Is it the process of change that's taking place? So pay attention to your cough, pay attention to other people's cough. And to support a well-functioning system, please fill your own vacuum with new positive thought pattern that says, use your cough as a tool of self-discovery. Every time you cough, I want you to touch your throat and I want you to say, I am willing to change or I am changing. And to resolve a thyroid problem like goiter or hyper or hypothyroidism, the possible cause of goiter or hypo or hyperthyroidism is humiliation. Meaning it this way, I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my turn? So I want you to touch your throat and say, I move beyond old limitations and now allow myself to express freely and creatively. Let's go to your adrenal glands. Physically, your adrenal glands produce hormones that help regulate your immune system, blood pressure, but most importantly, your stress response, your fight or flight. Gosh, we are setting off these adrenal glands. We are wearing our adrenal glands out, slap wearing them out. And energetically, when you have problems with your adrenals, which causes Addison's dis-ease or Cushing's dis-ease, it represents severe emotional malnutrition, anger at self, defeatism, no longer caring for self and having anxiety. To support a well-functioning adrenal system, fill your vacuum with a new thought program and say, I lovingly take care of my body, my mind, and my emotions. I love and approve of myself. It is safe for me to care for myself. Because in the thyroid and adrenals, we are, as a society, we are really wrecking havoc with these areas of our body. We've got to make some changes. The pancreas, this is another one that we're slap wearing out, because the pancreas, the liver was never supposed to be filled with all of this. So the biggest gland of the adrenal system is the pancreas. And so that lies behind the stomach and regulates the amount of sugar in the blood. And so energetically, the pancreas represents the sweetness of life. Your heart is love. Your blood is joy. You pump love and joy through your body. Joy to me means doing what you're born to do. So what I want you to do is to support a well-functioning pancreas. Fill your vacuum with this new thought process. My life is sweet. My joy is non-negotiable. And so I want you to see that happening. And I want, if you have trouble with your pancreas, having different things like diabetes, it usually is rejection, anger, and frustration because life seems to have lost its sweetness. Say to your pancreas, I love and approve of myself, and I alone create sweetness and joy in my life. For diabetes and hypoglycemia, the possible cause is longing for what might have been, a great need to control and deep sorrow, no sweetness left. And this moment is filled with joy. This is what you say. This moment is filled with joy. I now choose to experience the sweetness of today. And so your human reproductive glands, the ovaries maintain and the changes in girls producing estrogen, and the testes handle the changes in boys releasing the testosterone. Energetically, your ovaries represent point of creation, your creativity. So to your ovaries, you bless them and say, I am balanced in my creative flow. And to the men, the testes represent that those masculine principles, your masculinity. And so men can say and bless their testes, it is safe to be a man. And both of us energetically, men and women, we have the feminine and we have the masculine. And we can put those in balance. When we're too far masculine or too far feminine, then we haven't got them in balance. So our whole life is to look and especially endocrine system is to what are we out of balance? When you've got problems with your endocrine system, any part of it, I say, look and ask the question, what part of my life is out of balance? Not just that your endocrine system physically is out of balance, but energetically, say to yourself, what part of my life is out of balance? Look at yourself holistically. It's not a separate physical body part. Every body part goes with the mental parts and the energy as well. So when a different part of your endocrine system is out of balance, ask yourself, how is my life out of balance? Your thoughts and beliefs create your reality 100%. So understand that your thoughts create your reality 100%. Negative emotions create negative nervous system chaos, but positive emotions do the opposite and create calm. Positive emotions can increase the brain's ability to make good decisions. Let me repeat that. Positive emotions can increase the brain's ability to make good decisions. You can boost your immune system by focusing on positive emotions. Positive emotions create physical benefits to your body. Your body becomes ill and at dis-ease when your mental and habits are out of whack, they're out of balance, and they're more on the negative side than the positive side. We have got to balance everything out. Positive emotions create a physiological benefits to your body. In fetal development, the heart forms and starts beating before the brain begins to develop. The heart is all about love. And the heart's magnetic field can be measured several feet away from the body. This is all extraordinary to me. I just get crazy about this because I think it's so interesting. So for us to attract a vibrant health in our body, you have to remember it's about being mental thoughts as much as it is your physical body. So change your mental ability. Start attracting more of what you want by changing your thoughts. Thoughts bundled together create your beliefs. Beliefs come out as your words come out as your experiences. So make some conscientious decisions about how you're going to behave and be today. The key to getting what you want is knowing what you want. And I suggest you absolutely want vibrant health. And so we send you off to your abundance test kitchen every single week, knowing that you have the ability to practice, making fight or flight not just the only way that you talk, but fight or flight becomes choice. Choice in today's world is much more effective than just reacting. So vibrant health is your right, harmonious relationships, pleasurable purpose, and a dream lifestyle. It's all up to you to cook up vibrant health each and every day for yourself. And you can heal yourself at any time as well. See you next week for our next session.